Coming to you live with some of the latest cryptocurrency news around the world. What is hot? What is in the space? Let's get crack-a-lackin'. All right, first of all, we've got Monsta Infinite. When I first saw this, I thought they misspelt it, but it's actually called Monsta Infinite. It's basically Axie Infinity's little brother, or little yet crazy high potential brother. Apparently the investment into this NFT based game, which can be, I guess, fun to play. I mean, it's got some pretty interesting concepts in here. It's again a play to earn concept, and obviously the coin that is being invested into this particular game is called Money, which is used to buy monsters. It's a BEP20 governance token for the actual monster universe. Now, it has shown some pretty healthy levels in the last 3 months. It's actually gone to the moon, and the game hasn't even launched yet, and so it's gone quite crazy. And the investment into this NFT game is a lot less than its competitor Axie Infinity. And we know what happens with Axie Infinity is that you got to play to earn SLPs. They seem to have a pretty similar structure as well. I haven't done the real nitty-gritty research into it, and there is still yet to be a lot of development that needs to come out. I think one of the reasons why it has spiked up so much is because of the hype that the marketing team was able to bring to the project, which is a good sign. They're doing a good job. It hasn't even launched, but we're seeing this mooning, which is great. But what I am more interested in when it comes to making money with play to earn games is basically investing into its governance tokens, right? So for Axie Infinity is AXX, but seriously, it has gone from like $0.5 all the way to $140, which is like 280x, which is just mind-blowingly crazy. So that's more money that you can make than actually playing the bloody games, which is, you spend so much time doing it, and you get someone in Philippines or to find a scholar to actually play it for you, and you split the income as well. There's actually a lot more money to be made, I think, into identifying the projects and actually investing money into their governance tokens or their game tokens or whatever it may be. And not the tokens that you actually win, but the tokens that's used to actually run the game mechanics, whether it's breeding, whatever is actually used to govern the actual mechanics of the game itself. So AXS for Axie Infinity, and for Monsta Infinite, it will be Money coin right there. So for me, this is really exciting, and I see the uptake is very, very serious. I mean, I don't have to know exactly how to play the game, but just to identify the amount of people coming in, the community forming, which is extremely powerful. So here we are on the Monsta Infinite, and there's a lot of members here, and it seems to be an extremely active marketplace. So that's something that I think you should definitely look into. The gaming space in the cryptocurrency world is massive. NFT gaming, it's going to change life. It's going to create some generational wealth. Now, Bitcoin, what the heck has happened? Well, Bitcoin just hit $60,000 for the first time in 6 bloody months. I know a lot of you have waited for this time, but damn, it's pretty crazy. But it's purely speculative on the ETF approval on a Bitcoin futures ETF, and the SEC might be giving a green light on that one. So it's purely speculative at the moment, and we see the prices surging to that $60,000 mark. Now, I would be very cautious at this stage because I see the price going up. The volume isn't actually particularly moving so aggressively that would be matching to the price increase there. So I would suspect that this is what the whales potentially are doing to manipulate the news sources to actually get little investors, shrimp investors, to actually jump in and a bit of FOMO in as well. Maybe it's one of those classic situations where you basically buy on the rumor but sell on the news. So I'll be watching out the marketplace to see what news comes out on this ETF, whether it's going to be one that of an approval or one that of a delay. And I think that will then may mark the top of the current mini bull cycle that we're making. Now, will we bull out of this and create a new all-time high? Well, for us to do that, I think it's going to set a precedent that we've never seen before. If we're going to follow 2014 and 2017, I would say we're around about the top right now. And because of that, we haven't actually created a move in terms of the chart that is different to what we have seen in the 4-year cycle that the Bitcoin always goes through. So unless we see an actual confirmation above the all-time high at that 64, the high 64,000, the $65,000 mark, I wouldn't say we're well and truly into the bull market yet to come out of this. And to expect that to come is a little bit far-fetched based on history. But again, I could be wrong on that one. But either way, we are interested in making money. So we look at this altcoin that we think is about to rally back up to its all-time high. And that is, of course, Cake. Because Binance just launched a $1 billion fund to boost adoption of its smart chain and blockchain technology and whatever. And you know what? On their blockchain, there is a very, very famous exchange token called a Cake. And you know what? On Cake, there is this pattern forming, which is setting up to to be a very, very bullish move to the nearest all-time high. I mean, sitting at around about that $20 mark at the moment. And if it goes back to this of the previous all-time high, it's going to basically at least 2x, which is a very, very exciting sentiment. And yeah, I don't doubt it. If Binance puts that kind of money behind the blockchain adoption and further developments onto its technologies, then I don't think this kind of move is out of question at all. So that's something that I'll definitely be paying attention to. Another 3 cryptocurrencies that's going to do really well. We've identified DOT, ADA, and Ethereum. Well, why DOT? Because DOT has this crazy awesome cross-chain interoperability protocol. That's a big deal, guys. So there are cryptos out there where you only have to act within that one blockchain, but DOT actually tears that right up, and you can have cross-chain interoperability, which is very, very powerful, and it's going to bring a lot of the functionalities and across the different blockchains together, which is very, very powerful. So in terms of use case, Polkadot is absolutely killing it. Not only that, we've got ADA, which is a decentralized platform, which is highly scalable because of its low transaction fees, and it's basically going to create its own ecosystem, and it doesn't borrow from like Ethereum or anything like we did see Polygon do as a layer 2 solution. But ADA is going to be its own ecosystem, and that's really powerful. It's kind of like setting up Android, right? You know, Android or iOS, upon which you can set up different applications which you can play games on, you can do transactions on, and that ecosystem is just so bloody powerful. And once you set something like that up, then then there's going to be more applications that are going to come in from external developments that's going to make this platform even more and more useful. That's what we saw with Android. That's what we saw with iOS as well. Use that as a simple example. Then you can begin to wrap your head around Ethereum, and that's part of the reason why Ethereum is going to do so well, and that's part of the reason why these 3 cryptocurrencies have such fantastic use cases. And you know what, I could not stress on use cases anymore, because with cryptocurrencies, yes, we could be buying the top at the moment, but if you think about it, even if you did buy the top back in 2017, here it is, guys, that's the top in 2017. Even if you timed it somehow perfectly so bloody well that you bought it at that time, in 3.5 years time, it's blown out of proportion, to be at a new all-time high again. So the fact that cryptocurrencies have its use cases, the longer you hold, the more money you're going to make. And that's why I don't really mind recommending altcoins, even though we're at a market top, because if you were to have diamond hands, if you're able to hodl for a really long time, you will see at least some gains. Obviously, I would much prefer you get into a price action much better, but I cannot stress enough the importance of the time in the market rather than timing the market, because you can time the market so well, but if you're getting emotional, then you can sell out of these positions way too prematurely and therefore losing the money. And we're doing this to make money. You get me, guys? So that's something that's really important for you guys to keep an eye on. A really interesting comment from ARK's Kathy Wood. You would have seen her name fly around the place a fair bit. She's a big deal, let's just put it that way. And Bitcoin could reach 500,000 if institutional investors embrace the benchmark cryptocurrency. Obviously, very bullish news in terms of fundamentals, but just be careful with these kind of news as well, because highly positive news like this can be a topping signal for cryptocurrency as well. So just be really careful. But she does raise a very good point, and it's a mathematical point, and I don't think this scenario is out of question. It's something that we're definitely gonna be expecting. And he says if institutions around the world were to allocate 5% of their portfolios to Bitcoin, that allocation alone, and this is just one of many use cases out there, would roughly add up to $500,000 in Bitcoin's price, which is totally true. And in the next 10 years, we may see that happen. And more and more companies are adding Bitcoin to their treasuries, investment and non-investment companies as well, just regular tech companies. We've seen how aggressive Michael Saylor was with MicroStrategy. There's a lot of room for growth for Bitcoin is what Kathy Wood is saying. Although, when is that going to happen? Are we going to have a near-term bearish moment? Yes, maybe. But even then, it's still 10x. So why wouldn't you go for it? But in saying that, if you are here because of FOMO, because you've heard your friend that the cryptocurrencies is the next best thing since sliced bread, well, just be really careful, guys, and make sure you do your own research when it comes to doing your own investments, and try to find a good time to actually enter into the market as well. It's actually better to invest when there's blood on the streets rather than investing when everybody else has made the money. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. That's the update on the cryptocurrency market today. If you haven't done so, go check out all of my social. Go check out my NFT project called DRNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. And if you haven't done so, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.